Hi, I'm Ayan. Most people would say I'm the sensible one in the Patel family. Reliable, hardworking, maybe a little too serious according to my younger sister Priya. I was looking forward to Thanksgiving this year, having taken a full week off from my accounting job to help with preparations at my parents' house. That's when everything changed. Hey Ayan, help with these groceries, my cousin Raj called from the driveway. He'd flown in from Chicago yesterday earlier than everyone else. Coming! I jogged out to his rental car. Man, did you buy the whole store? Raj grinned, his signature lopsided smile. You know Auntie, she texted me a list longer than my arm. We carried everything inside. My mother was out running more errands, probably unnecessary ones, knowing her perfectionist tendencies. So, Raj said casually, leaning against the fridge, ready for the big event? Everyone's talking about it. I grabbed a soda. What's there to be ready for? Just Thanksgiving. Same as every year. Right. Raj's eyes darted away. Been in the family group chat lately? Something in his tone made me pause. Which group chat? Look, I probably shouldn't say anything. Say what, Raj? He exhaled sharply. There's another chat. Thanksgiving special. Everyone's in it except you. My stomach tightened. What's it about? Your sister started it. They've been planning this thing for Thanksgiving dinner. Your dad found those videos from that 7th grade talent show when you forgot the lyrics and froze on stage. I felt the blood drain from my face. That was 15 years ago. Priya thought it would be hilarious to play it for everyone. They've been adding other embarrassing stuff too. Photos, stories. Your mom even found that diary from high school. My diary? My hands curled into fists. How did she even find that? In the attic, apparently. Priya's planning to film your reaction for some priceless content. Content? This is a social media stunt? She's calling it Public Shaming Family Edition. I sat heavily on a kitchen stool. And everyone's in on this? Mom? Dad? Your dad suggested the projector setup. Your mom said it would bring you down a peg since you're too full of yourself, since your promotion. Show me, I said quietly. Raj handed over his phone. I scrolled through weeks of messages, each more hurtful than the last. Who else isn't on board? I asked, my voice steady despite the storm brewing inside me. Just me and Nina. She thought it was cruel too. Thanks for telling me. What will you do? I stared out the window where we'd all played as kids. I'm not going to be their entertainment. I've got your back, Raj said. This isn't right. No, I agreed, my mind already racing. It's not, and they're going to regret it. I can't believe they do this, Nina said over the phone. She was driving from Boston and wouldn't arrive until tomorrow. I need to see exactly what they planned, I replied, pacing my room. Check Priya's room. She's always the ringleader. She won't be back from the airport for another hour. Nina paused. This is your chance then. It felt wrong to invade my sister's privacy, but considering the circumstances, I'll call you back. Priya's room was chaotic, but with an underlying system only she understood. Her laptop sat on her desk, the charging light blinking. I opened it, relieved to find no password. A folder labeled Thanksgiving Takedown contained scanned diary pages, embarrassing photos, the talent show video, and a PowerPoint titled Ayan's Greatest Hits of Embarrassment. I heard the garage door. Quickly, I transferred everything to my phone and slipped out. Ayan, help with these bags? My father called from downstairs. I headed down. Found some great wine for Thursday, he said cheerfully. That Cabernet you like. That I like, I repeated flatly. How thoughtful, he frowned. Everything okay? Just tired. Need anything else? Set up the projector in the dining room later. Want to make sure it works with my laptop? The audacity was impressive. The projector, for the slideshow about family history, right? He hesitated. Right, exactly. Your mother thought it'd be nice to show old photos. As soon as he left, I texted Raj, meeting Nina at the coffee shop downtown at 4. Come if you can. At the coffee shop, Nina gave me a fierce hug. This is messed up. I've been fuming the whole drive. Thanks for having my back. Raj arrived minutes later. I showed them what I'd found. It's worse than we thought, Nina said, scrolling through the PowerPoint. Even the food poisoning at your graduation. Priya's done interviews too, Raj added, with old classmates, neighbors, even your ex. I nearly choked. Lisa? They contacted Lisa? She mostly refused to say anything bad about you. At least someone has decency, I muttered. What's the plan? Raj asked. Confront them? Not yet. First, I need to understand why. Is this just for social media? Your dad seemed pretty into it, Nina said carefully. He talked about taking you down a notch after your promotion. Jealousy from my own father? And your mom complained you don't visit or call enough, Raj added. So their solution is public humiliation? I shook my head. No, this stops now. What are you thinking? Nina asked. I need evidence. I need to record them talking about this plan openly. I've got a voice recorder app, Raj offered. Perfect. Nina, can you keep playing along in the chat? Act like you've changed your mind. Done. What else? I need to know if anyone else was pressured into this. I'll talk to Aunt Mina, Nina offered. We've always been close. And I'll set up that projector with a few modifications. Raj grinned. For the first time since discovering the plot, I felt hope. Thank you, both of you. Nobody messes with family, Nina said firmly, even if it's family doing the messing. Thanksgiving morning arrived with the scent of spices and quiet tension. My mother bustled around pretending everything was normal while my father and Priya exchanged knowing looks. Need help, Mom? I offered. She jumped slightly. Oh, no, everything's under control. Relax. Big dinner later. Big dinner, big plans, I said casually. Her hands stilled. What do you mean? Nothing. Just sounds like this Thanksgiving might be more eventful than usual. Did Raj say something to you? Priya appeared in the doorway, eyes narrowed. About what? She stared before forcing a smile. Nothing. Just wondering if he mentioned bringing his new girlfriend. Raj doesn't have a girlfriend, I stated flatly. An awkward silence fell. I'll check the projector setup, I said, watching their reactions. Make sure everything's ready for the family history slideshow. Priya's eyes widened. I can do that. No need, I've got it. By 4 o'clock, the house was full. I greeted everyone warmly, watching for signs of guilt or anticipation. Almost time for dinner, my father announced. Everyone find your seats. I noticed my place directly across from the projector screen. How convenient. Before we eat, Priya stood, raising her glass, I'd like to propose a toast to family traditions, old and new. Several people chuckled knowingly. My father couldn't stop grinning. And speaking of traditions, she continued, we've prepared a little entertainment. Actually, I interrupted, standing as well, I have something to say first. The room fell silent. This wasn't in their script. I know about the video, Priya, about the PowerPoint, about public shaming family edition. Her glass froze halfway to her lips. What? I know everything. The group chat, the planning, the diary pages, all of it. My father cleared his throat. Ayan, it was just going to be a bit of fun. Fun? Humiliating me for fun? You're overreacting, Priya tried. Just a few funny memories. Let's see what you consider funny, I said, pressing the remote Raj had given me. The projector displayed screenshots of their group chat. My mother gasped. How did you... Keep watching. Messages filled the screen. He's gotten so full of himself since that promotion. I can't wait to see his face when we play the talent show video. Make sure to record his reaction so we can post it. Those diary pages are gold. He'll die of embarrassment. The room grew uncomfortably quiet. Is this true? Aunt Mina broke the silence, turning to my mother. You were going to publicly humiliate your son? It wasn't like that, my mother protested weakly. Then what was it like? I asked. Explain how this was anything but cruel. My father stood, angry. You had no right to go through your sister's computer. And you had no right to go through my childhood diary, I countered, or plan to broadcast my embarrassing moments for your entertainment. You always think you're so perfect, Priya spat. We just wanted to bring you down a peg. By hurting me? By betraying my trust? You never call anymore, my mother said suddenly, her voice small. You're always too busy. So this was punishment? If you missed me, why not just tell me? Because you wouldn't listen, my father shouted, slamming his hand down. You never listen anymore. Raj stood up beside me. There's no excuse for what you planned. If you had concerns, you talked to him like adults. Stay out of this, my father growled. No, Nina joined us. This affects all of us. What kind of family does this? Priya looked around, realizing she was losing her audience. It was just supposed to be a joke. A joke everyone was in on except me, I said quietly. That's not a joke, that's bullying. Bullying? My father looked outraged. In our own home? How dare you? He's right, Nina interrupted. And you know it. The confrontation escalated until my father, red-faced and furious, grabbed a decorative vase and hurled it against the wall. Get out of my house, he shouted. If you can't take a joke, then get out. Dad! Priya looked shocked. Stop! But he advanced toward me, finger pointed. You ungrateful, self-important. I backed away. Dad, calm down. Don't tell me to calm down in my own house. He shoved me hard into the wall. Gasps echoed around the table. Uncle Dave jumped up to restrain my father while Raj moved protectively in front of me. That's assault, Nina said clearly, holding up her phone. And I got it all on video. 3 weeks later, I sat across from my sister in a neutral location, a quiet corner of a downtown cafe. Her usual confidence was nowhere to be seen. The restraining order against Dad gets lifted next week, she said, stirring her coffee endlessly. I know. Mom's still upset about missing Christmas with you. I shrugged. Actions have consequences. Priya flinched. The mandatory anger management classes are helping him, I think. He's calmer. Good for him. She finally looked up at me. Everyone's asking when you'll come back, when things will go back to normal. They won't, I said simply. Normal is gone. You all saw to that. It was supposed to be a stupid prank. It got out of hand. A prank? I raised an eyebrow. Priya, you spent months planning to humiliate me. You invaded my privacy, dug up painful memories, and tried to record my distress for social media. Then Dad physically assaulted me. What part of that sounds like a harmless prank to you? She had no answer. The family therapist thinks we should all sit down together, she tried again. Work through this as a unit. I'm already seeing my own therapist, thanks. She thinks what you all did was emotional abuse. That's a bit dramatic. Is it? I cut her off. How would you feel if I organized the entire family to laugh at your most painful moments? If I went through your private journals? If I invited everyone to mock you while recording your reaction? Again, silence. Look, I finally said, I didn't press charges against Dad, even though Nina's video would have made for an easy case. The restraining order was the minimum consequence. You should all be thankful it wasn't worse. He's our father, Ayan. He made a mistake. A mistake is forgetting someone's birthday. What he did, what all of you did, was a deliberate choice. Multiple choices over months. So that's it? You're just done with us? I considered her question carefully. I'm done with being disrespected and taken for granted. I'm done with being the family punching bag. No one thinks of you that way. Enough, Priya. The group chat messages tell a different story. I picked up my coffee. You want to know what I'm doing for the holidays now? I'm going to Raj and Nina's place, with people who actually care about my well-being. We care. If you cared, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I stood up. I need to get back to work. My team is waiting. The perfect Ayan, she muttered. Always so responsible. That was always your problem, wasn't it? You resented me for being responsible, for doing well. Instead of being happy for me, you wanted to tear me down. That's not fair. Neither was what you planned. I put on my coat. Tell Mom and Dad I got their messages. I'm not ready to talk to them yet. Maybe in the new year we can try a conversation with a mediator present, but I make no promises. They'll be crushed. I was crushed when I saw those messages, when I realized my own family was plotting against me. Funny how that works. As I turned to leave, Priya called after me. Ayan, I really am sorry. For what it's worth. I paused, looking back at her. I know you are. You're sorry you got caught. You're sorry about the consequences. But I don't think you're sorry for the intent behind it all. That's not true, isn't it? Because I haven't heard you say you were wrong. Just that things got out of hand. She had no response. That's what I thought. Goodbye, Priya. Tell everyone I won't be their entertainment this Christmas either. Outside, Raj was waiting by his car. How'd it go? He asked as I approached. About as expected. They're sorry, but still don't fully get it. You okay? I looked back at the cafe where my sister still sat, then up at the clear winter sky. Yeah, I think I am. Or I will be. Nina's got the spare room all set up for you for Christmas, he said as we got into his car. Her boyfriend's making his famous apple pie. Sounds perfect, I nodded. A real family holiday. You ever think you'll forgive them? Raj asked carefully as he started the engine. I considered the question. Forgiveness requires understanding. They still don't understand what they did wrong, so no, not yet. Fair enough. As we pulled away, I felt lighter somehow. The betrayal still hurt, but I'd stood up for myself. I'd refused to be their victim or their entertainment, and in doing so, I'd found out who my real family was. Hey, Raj, I said, as we merged onto the highway. Yeah? Thanks for having my back, you and Nina both. He smiled. Always. That's what real family does. Have you ever discovered someone you trusted was plotting against you? What would you do if your family tried to publicly humiliate you for their entertainment? Like, comment, and subscribe for more stories like this one.